Greetings and welcome back to Illuminated Productions. I'm your host, Sam, and today I wanted to talk about why I still collect physical media in 2023. This list is in no real particular order other than how it was thought of in my head. I wanted to start with higher quality home theater experiences. So when you buy a Blu-ray or a 4K, you're really going to be watching it in the best presentation possible, especially a 4K. And my main example I'm going to be using today is actually the first 4K I ever purchased, which is Rob Reiner's Stand By Me. When this came out, we had a 4K TV, but we didn't have a 4K player, so we got the cord and the player, just so that we could have this experience. To this day, this is one of my favorite 4K releases of all time. I think the picture quality is nothing short of stunning. This was shot on film, a 35mm print, which is essentially an 8K native source. It is so much data and so much depth in picture clarity and the overall definition that you're just getting an experience that is nothing short of the theatrical experience, if not better. When you're streaming something, when you're streaming a 4K stream even, you are limited to the data that is being presented onto your screen based on the megabytes per second of your Wi-Fi, of your router. And for us to be living in a world where we can get these 4K releases on consumer market is nothing short of a blessing. You're not only getting the best possible quality of what might be your favorite film, but also exclusive special features that you can only watch on the disc. In this case, Stand By Me came with never before seen deleted and alternate scenes, which I was so excited about and did pay off in a big way. What also happens on a 4K release usually is that they include the Blu-ray, but a lot of those bonus features will be on the Blu-ray itself, if not ported over to that 4K disc. So in this case, we have a picture-in-picture commentary from the Blu-ray. Audio commentaries by the director and cast is another huge reason why I got back into Blu-ray, 4K, DVD. I have a tremendous amount of admiration for filmmakers, for especially indie filmmakers, for all of those tips and tricks that they teach you in film school, which I have gone to. My point is that there's a lot of valuable information on these discs. You know, the commentaries, the featurettes, the interviews, they're extremely educational. If you're curious about actors, writers, directors, editors, composers, if you're wanting to kind of be creative yourself and branch out into some of it, special features and audio commentaries are outstanding guidelines of filmmaking, especially depending on which ones you track down. Right now, the Jerry Maguire picture-in-picture commentary to me stands out. I think Stand By Me also had a very good picture-in-picture commentary on it with the cast and the filmmaker. So when you get a 4K, usually they will have new cover art, and in this case, you have a slipcase and then alternate, so you're getting two new pieces of artwork for this classic coming-of-age film. And yes, not always are you going to get outstanding disc art. I tried to pick a really good 4K example that had everything I was looking for on it. But yeah, packaging is huge, especially Best Buy have really been kicking out the 4K Steelbook exclusive with lines like Lionsgate. They have been just churning those suckers out this year, last year, and other distributors and companies are doing it as well. If you order something through Arrow Video, a lot of the times they include a booklet and a poster. Criterion includes booklets always, and they're always breathtaking and gorgeous to look at and to read. These little things, they go a long way, I think, because it's in front of you, it's in your hand. It's textural. It's an in-person experience, like when you used to go to a video store and you picked out that movie behind the case, the rental box, and all that stuff. Blockbuster Video, Mammoth Video in my local hometown, Family Videos, and there's still those video rental shops open today. Less and less, of course, but physical media is making a resurgence. There's no doubt about it. And last year was a great example of how this stuff is becoming more and more popular, and how 4K is becoming a new standard format for not only TVs, but as a way of streaming and viewing things. Yes, I kind of knocked the 4K streams because they don't have as much data as the disc, but I still watch 4K streams. I still rent 4K streams. I still buy 4K streams because you are getting a better quality over your 1080 HD stream. And it's noticeable, even though it's not as noticeable as when you pop this in. So when you do purchase a 4K, you are owning it. It is not going anywhere unless you want it to go somewhere. When you're streaming a movie on an app, that movie can come and go as it pleases. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, for example, they edit out segments of the show, if not remove entire episodes from seasons, because of the sensitive audience. But still, I think to take it away entirely it's kind of missing the point, especially talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when it's about bad people doing bad things. But I digress. When you purchase a Blu-ray, whether that be new from stores at Best Buy or from a secondhand shop like Disc Replay, the money you're paying is going directly to the studio and its contributors. When you purchase a digital file on iTunes or Vudu, that app is taking a big cut. So when you buy something on disc, those profits are being more generated to the artists, making essentially better films. Home entertainment can kind of take away from the theatrical experience maybe, but if you're doing Blu-rays and 4Ks, DVDs, that's sending the same message to the studio. If you were to see a new movie in theaters, you're spending $20. You could just buy the 4K, and you're always going to have it, watch it anytime, and not just once. 2022 was the best year ever for 4K releases, hands down. I could not keep up with the releases, and I was pretty heavily involved as a hobbyist. But when you have a surround sound setup, something like even just 5.1, that's what we have, it's really such a significant improvement over your TV speakers, over sound bars. Yes, these things aren't exactly cheap to attain. We got lucky in that sense, but I think it's worth it. When you go to a theater, you never know what's going on, whether people are talking, not knowing how to behave, taking pictures, their phones going off, people are kicking your seat and they're munching. It's not that I hate theaters. I've gone less and less over the years, I suppose, because of the introduction of 4K and Blu-ray and the significant audio-visual improvement that I was getting over streaming something off my laptop. Watching this first 4K film, it just knocked me out. The HDR, the color grading, the saturation, the exposure, the detail, the film grain retention. When I first started getting into physical media again, this was around the time of COVID and such, the end of COVID, and kind of that lingering anxiety of going out into the world and being safe and catching COVID, even when you're wearing a mask and things like that. Nonetheless, these Blu-rays and 4Ks motivated me to get out of the house, to get into stores, and to do Blu-ray hunting trips, 4K hunting trips, DVD hunting trips, and really explore the local retailers of FYE, Best Buy, Target, Disc Replay, Media Reload, local record stores like Solo Records, Found Sound, Barnes & Noble coming to mind now, 2nd and Charles. Of course, this is going to be semi-partial to the location, but my point is, Blu-ray hunting helped me get back out into the public during COVID, and even pre-COVID, I would say. I was a large homebody, and still am to some degree. You know, these Blu-ray trips are really what started motivating me to get back out in the world. I'd be constantly on the lookout for new locations to explore, to maybe take a little driving trip if I had kind of searched the area locally already. So I'm indebted and so appreciative. There's a business for this stuff, and it is growing more than you might think. Catalog Blu-rays are being released by companies like Paramount, exclusive retailers, boutique labels like Kino Lorber, Shout Factory, Scream Factory, Criterion, Vinegar Syndrome, MVD, Arrow Video. The list goes on and on. These retailers really making big efforts in recent years to keep up. It's good economic, karmic value, I think, to support the little guy, your local record stores especially, and your secondhand shops. It really makes you feel a little bit better about spending some money on your favorite movies and CDs and what have you, especially when those kind of mom and pop shops are so sweet and nice. And no, not all of them are like that, but once I thoroughly explored the greater Detroit area, I quickly found my favorite spots. Solo Records comes to mind. That's on Woodward. It's going to be one of the places I'm going to always go to if I'm in the area. And it's something I learned over time. Yeah, just that local business and community quality of it is really cool, and brings me to another kind of tag on point here. Is that when Mid-Level Media actually reached out and commented on my Fast Times Blu-ray review video, and these little things like that, they really go a long way with me, and they really affect me in a positive way. That brings together a sense of niche community, this niche hardcore appreciation for cinema and for its future and livelihood. Other channels that come to mind right now are Films at Home. They've been posting a ton of content. Mid-Level Media channel has been on top of the game, basically daily posts. In Search of Physical Media comes to mind. Movie Guy 365 is on top of it as well. The future of these videos, basically, I do want to explore a kind of round table session like Hack the Movies does, where you're inviting people into the room and you're creating an open, long, tangented discussion about the love of movies, because it just sounds like more fun to me than anything else. To me, that sense of community and just that love for films is where my heart is right now. And you're going to be seeing some pretty cool videos coming up talking about the highlight releases of 2022 for me, my top 10 or 20 personal favorite films of all time. Just really stuff that keeps me focused as well as a filmmaker and reviewer, lover of physical media. I'm trying to keep it all very rooted in that direct passion. So if you have watched this far, you're a great person, and you deserve to hear that. So thank you most importantly, and I so appreciate you. Do consider subscribing to the channel. We've got a lot of great upcoming videos. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. This has been Illuminated Productions. I've been your host, Sam, and you've been the audience. I'll talk to you soon.